Fresh off of a 2-hour flight from Lima and a 2-hour ride from the airport in Iquitos, I finally feel the essence of the Amazon as I ride on the banks of the Ucayali River. During this 3-hour boat ride, I passed the point where the Ucayali River and the Marañón River meet, which is considered the birthplace of the Amazon River. The Peruvian Amazon is the area of the Amazon rainforest in Peru, east of the Andes. Most Peruvian territory is covered by forest on the east side of the Andes, but only 5% of Peruvians live there. More than 60% of Peruvian territory is covered by the Amazon rainforest, more than any other country. Peru also has the second largest portion of the Amazon rainforest after the Brazilian Amazon. The Peruvian Amazon jungle is one of the most biodiverse areas on Earth. As a nation, Peru has the largest number of bird species in the world and the third largest number of mammals. 44% of the bird species and 63% of the mammal species inhabit the Peruvian Amazon. Wow. Oh man. This is crazy. Yeah, this is juicy. Wow. This is El-Dumarè, recording live from the Amazon. The back skirts. This is a very surreal moment for me. And why did I personally come to the Amazon jungle? To connect deeper with my shamanic journey through exploring the world of Pachamama, who is the Mother Earth of the Andean people in Inca mythology. Immersing myself in Pachamama is unearthing the mission of an earth keeper and a spiritual herbalist. And this trip deepened my connection with nature even more. Now, what is a shaman? A shaman is the healer and wisdom keeper, the healer of themselves and the spiritual guide of others, where they show their community how to heal themselves emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. They are the original masters of nature by being medicine men and women. They are the caretakers of their tribe, the first doctors, astronomers, storytellers, animal whisperers, craftsmen, artists, etc. They are one with the plant and animal kingdom. In Western literature, the shaman is called the noble savage, which just sounds like a backhanded compliment. The noble savage is a stock character who is uncorrupted by civilization, but a feral wild child and savage beast in nature. When you are undomesticated, you are feral. The person who lives off grid away from society is the noble savage. A hedge witch and a hermit is a shaman. But in society, people who prefer to be away from society is looked at as crazy or evil because Western civilization demonized them after they conquered them. And they demonized them because they feared the self-sufficient shaman. The noble savage symbolizes the innate goodness and the moral superiority of primitive people living in harmony with nature. I wrote a short story called Noble Savage in my book, Book of Perception, Spiritually Proven, which is about Inkari and the lost city of Patiti. Check it out if you're interested.
At this very moment, I feel like an old world explorer on a voyage looking for a lost city filled with gold. That could obviously be past life memories and future activities. But whatever it is, the explorer in me is fulfilled. I feel like I'm in a movie. Well, my life is like a shamanic sci-fi superhero movie. And as a teenager, I loved watching Animal Planet and other similar shows. The ignorance of Black Americans would call these nature activities white people's shit, but the indigenous and Africans are the first explorers. The European exploration is just more famous because of the lies and the colonization behind it. The indigenous and Africans did it first, but was conquered by the European Spaniards, and their lifestyle was plagiarized, but also demonized at the same time.
Heliophile, one attracted to sunlight.
Galileo was jailed for supporting Copernicus' thesis that the sun was the center of the solar system instead of the earth. And that's the price of being a free thinker.
Life is beautiful. Accessing my Akashic records is how I saw my roots in shamanism. And my latest book, Chambo the Wounded Healer, is about my shamanic calling. I named it that because the shaman is the wounded healer, as they have the ability to help heal others while still being wounded themselves. Now let's talk about some of the greatest Peruvian revolutionaries of the Inca Empire. What is a Sapa Inca? The Sapa Inca is the monarch of the Inca Empire. The Inca believed the Sapa Inca to be the son of the sun god Inti. The monarch's position eventually became hereditary, which the son succeeded their father, and the main wife of the Inca was known as the Coya. The Sapa Inca was at the top of the social hierarchy and played a dominant role in the political world and the spiritual realm. Manco Capac was the first Inca monarch in the 13th century, but Inca Roca, the sixth Inca monarch, was apparently the first to be officially the one to carry the title Sapa Inca. The last effective Sapa Inca was Atahualpa, who reigned from April 1532 until he was executed the following year in July by Francisco Pizarro and his conquistadors during the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire. As we know by now, the mission of the Spaniards was to convert the indigenous to Christianity, and unfortunately, they forced him to convert to Christianity before killing him. He was the 13th overall emperor of the Incas, and if you know the significance and the power of 13, you know. For example, Jesus had 12 disciples, right? That makes him number 13. But his legacy lives on through the legend of Inkari. Now, what is Inkari? The Inkari myth is one of the most famous legends of the Inca. When the Spanish conquistadors executed Atahualpa, according to the legend, he vowed that he would come back one day to avenge his death. According to the legend, the Spaniards buried his body parts in several places around the kingdom. His head is said to rest under the presidential palace in Lima, while his arms are said to be in Cusco and his legs in Ayacucho. Buried under the earth, he will grow into the day that he will rise, take back his kingdom, and restore the harmony and the relationship between Pachamama and her children. After Inkari found Cusco, he supposedly found the mythical lost city of Patiti. Years later, someone claimed to be the reincarnation of the Atahualpa. In the 1730s, Roman Catholic Franciscan missionaries established missions in the Grand Paginal, but the missions were destroyed in the 1740s by the Ashaninka under the leadership of the 19th monarch, Juan Santos Atahualpa, the reincarnation himself. Several Spanish military expeditions tried to suppress the rebellion, but failed or were defeated. The rebellion destroyed the missionary enterprise and left the Grand Paginal in Ashaninka control for 150 years. Though they suffered from the periodic epidemics of European diseases, and in the late 19th century from slave raids by businesses engaged in the gathering of rubber during the Amazon rubber boom. The Juan Santos Rebellion began in 1742 in the Grand Paginal among the Ashaninka people. The indigenous people expelled Catholic missionaries and destroyed or forced the evacuation of 23 missions, many of them defended in the central jungle area of Peru. Several Spanish military expeditions tried to suppress the rebellion but failed or were defeated. Now that's a story of the indigenous not having it. In 1752, Santos attempted to expand his rebellion into the Andes and gained the support of the highland people. He captured the town of Atamarca and held it for 3 days before withdrawing to the jungle. Santos disappeared from the historical records after 1752. In the hip-hop community, the name Túpac Amaru Shakur is like saying Jesus Christ. But his mom, Afeni Shakur, named him after an Incan rebel for a beautiful, powerful reason.
Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Well, I think let's start with his name.
Could you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, Túpac Amaru Shakur.
Túpac Amaru is an Inca name. The first Túpac Amaru was the last indigenous Inca chief to be killed and martyred by the Spanish conquistadores who came to invade the area of South America called Peru. After that, another Túpac Amaru laid out plans for the modern state of Peru, also killed and martyred by the Spanish people. Túpac was conceived during the worst part of my life. I was on trial for my life. And I chose his name because I wanted my son to understand that African Americans are not the only people that this has happened to.
It's a baby. Oh, man. Wow. How old is that little?
Almost like 5 months or 6 months.
A baby.
It's one of the species in South America in the hard Amazon that live in these kinds of reptile.
Wow.
It's the white caiman. It's because the belly is white. Like it's clean.
Okay.
Stomach's full of many fish and frogs.
Wow.
throat all the time like a balloon
Okay.
because it's breathing.
Wow.
5 fingers like a human being.
Yeah, baby.
5 fingers. So the toe is 4. Feet wet.
So
Feet
4
wet.
toes and 5
5
fingers.
fingers.
Okay.
Day 3 of the Iquitos itinerary in the Amazon jungle. Got some real moments last night. Oh wow. Last night caiman tour, alligator tour. Saw baby lizards. Beautiful. Just look at this, look at this shit.
Túpac Amaru II was the 20th Inca leader. He was the leader of an immense uprising in the colonial Spanish-American history throughout the Andes from 1780 to 1783. Túpac Amaru II was born Jose Gabriel Condorcanqui in the Tinta region of Peru. At that time, a large part of South America was ruled by Spain, and the population was a mixture of Spanish, Native Americans, and people of African origin who were mostly enslaved. As a young man, he inherited his father's role as the leader of the local indigenous people. He continuously appealed to the Spanish governors to reduce the heavy taxes and improve working conditions, including forced labor for the locals. When his appeals were ignored, he arrested a local Spanish official and had him hanged in front of a large crowd. He then renamed himself Túpac Amaru II after his ancestor, who was the last indigenous ruler of the Incas, seeking to be recognized for his royal Inca lineage. He led the rebellion right along his Afro-Peruvian wife, Michaela, including 6,000 Native Americans who marched in rebellion. And according to some sources, out of the 73 leaders of the rebellion who were captured, 32 were women. Amaru was forced to witness the execution of a number of his family members, including his wife and one of their sons. The youngest son was forced to witness his gruesome death before being sent to Spain and imprisoned. But that didn't stop the rebellion, as it continued for another 2 years, led by Tupac's family and including another son. Although ultimately it was unsuccessful, the uprising helped to inspire a wave of rebellions against the colonial rule. Túpac and Michaela became heroic martyrs of the Andean people and for indigenous rights, and Peru eventually gained its independence in 1811. Over the last decades, illegal logging has become a serious problem in the Peruvian Amazon. In 2012, the World Bank estimated that 80% of Peru's timber exports are illegally harvested. This uncontrolled deforestation can negatively affect the habitats of indigenous tribes, the Peruvian biodiversity, and contribute to climate change. Moreover, illegal deforestation might lead to more violent crimes. This has already been demonstrated on September 1st, 2014, when 4 indigenous leaders were murdered, including the famous environmentalist Edwin Chota. These leaders were asking for governmental protection against illegal loggers, and after being threatened several times. Partly due to this, illegal loggers are being blamed for the assassination. Illegal gold mining is rampant among the Madre de Dios region of Peru and is extremely harmful to the environment. Individuals are mining more gold each year because of the exponential price hike in this commodity. The newest dominant rebels of Peru is the Shining Path. Chairman Gonzalo was a Peruvian Maoist guerrilla leader. He founded the organization in 1969 and led a rebellion against the Peruvian government until he was captured by authorities on September 12, 1992. He was subsequently sentenced to life imprisonment for terrorism and treason. A lot of bombings, burnings, and murders took place. In May 1980, the group launched its war against the government of Peru by burning the ballot boxes in Chuchi in an effort to disrupt the first democratic elections in the country since 1964. Shining Path eventually grew to control vast rural territories in central and southern Peru and achieved a presence even in the outskirts of Lima, where it staged numerous attacks. The purpose of Shining Path's campaign was to demoralize and undermine the government of Peru in order to create a situation conducive to a violent coup, which would put its leaders in power. The Shining Path targeted not only the army, and police, but also government employees at all levels. Guzman's image as a dispassionate murderer became widespread after he moved against the city of Lima. After a series of bombings and selective assassinations, the whole nation was shocked in 1992 when a car bomb exploded in one of Lima's busiest commercial districts on Tirada Street, thus causing many casualties and enormous material losses. Guzman denied responsibility for that bombing, claiming it was carried out without his knowledge. The movement promoted the writings of Guzman, called Gonzalo Thought, a new theoretical understanding that built upon Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism, whereby he declared Maoism to be the third and highest stage of Marxism, having defined Maoism as people's war.
There are a lot of money in this street. There a lot of money. This should be in the market ticket.
Wow.
Okay, good. You can squeeze, and this is just press. You squeeze it in. Yeah.
Look like blood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you can taste it. It is also for cough and for asthma.
I have asthma.
For asthma, it's
Beautiful.
really good for asthma.
Wow.
This is the bigger one is much half a red.
Mm-hmm.
This is for asthma, for cough.
No more big pharma. The cure is out here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
As you see, we are preparing our dinner for to camp overnight. This was a special cosmic day because it was my moon sign's birthday. The moon was in Sagittarius. It was divine timing because Sagittarius is all about travel, truth, freedom, and exploration. It was such a life-changing, memorable trip for many reasons. As I trekked through the Amazonian forest, I saw the real live scene from Bug's Life movie, where the leafcutter ants were carrying leaves back to their nests for farming.
Strolling through the Amazon.
Humans think they are so above the animal kingdom, but no, even the smallest insects are cognizant beings, and it was a true symbol of one consciousness. And as I trekked through the woods, I tried my best to not step over them, although it is inevitable because you can't see every ant on the ground.
Drink your juice right here.
This is amazing.
As I slept in a tent, red ants plagued the sheets, and it was quite hard to sleep. Unfortunately, I had to kill many ants, and small blood stains were left everywhere. Rest in peace to those souls. May they reincarnate and have a better demise.
Sunrise. It's like 5:50. Just waking up. Early meditation in the woods. Reflecting. I am blessed. For real.
Nemo Phyllis, a hunter of the woods, one who loves the forest and its beauty and solitude. Not too much on earth brings me more peace than the songs of the birds.
It's not like a drug, but it's more like a medication.
Yeah.
But you only try you if you burn in your arm.
Mm-hmm.
Show me your veins.
Can't
Not
see.
to the body.
I do.
Yeah, right here's your vein.
Yeah.
Right here's your vein. Okay. First, I need to rub it a little bit.
You said it's gonna burn.
Yeah, not just it can hurt your skin, but it just take a long time. You take, but this is only a try.
Yeah.
Just clean a little bit the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just a little bit.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Makes it
Try.
flex. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling the burn. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Feeling it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough. It's enough.
Okay.
We can hear it burn all the skin.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Only a taste. Simple taste.
Simple test.
Simple taste.
Well, usually I never get bit by mosquitoes. Never really in my life. If so, it'll be one dot at anything. But today is a new day, new beginning. Let me turn around. God. They all over America's Most Hated. Now, we are in the midst of the Amazon looking for sloths, supposedly the laziest animal in the world. I'm helping him clear the way.
This is how our ancestors paved the way for us. You're either your ancestors' wildest dream or their worst nightmare. Choose wisely.
Ankle. His ankle is working.
His ankle is broken.
Yeah.
Wow. He's very strong already. Because it is.
As I was walking through, the baby pointed and waved at me. So that's why I waved back.
This is me waiting to go bust their ass.
A few moments later.
Shout out to them brothers. We played some good games.
Unfortunately, there's some dead seals. One over there somewhere, I think that's it. There's one down there. I thought it was a dead person, but the dude he's revived. Thank goodness. Man, I done seen 2 dead seals. Thought it was a dead guy, but he woke up. Now, dead bird. God bless their spirits. I hope they are incarnated and live a better life in their next lives, the next bodies that their spirits are in. God bless.